The question of whether to spay or neuter your animals is very controversial. Should you or should you not get your animals spayed or neutered? My answer is yes. Since my sophomore year in high school, I have volunteered at an animal shelter. I worked with many of the animals, watching them come and go, some more than once. Most of the animals that come through the shelter are lost animals that had been found on the streets. Many shelter animals are, not just this one. Why are there so many animals on the street? If these animals are lucky enough, they can end up in a shelter. But what happens when there are too many animals in a shelter? Do they get euthanized? Do they go somewhere else? Now, I'd like you to ask yourself, is there something I can do to help? According to the Humane Society of the United States, there are an estimated 6 to 8 million homeless animals in the United States. These animals on the street aren't spayed or neutered. Why is this? The ASPCA says that male dogs that are not spayed tend to roam and wander away from home. They then end up on the streets. The unspayed males wander to the streets and are sometimes never found. They use their instincts to survive, and if they are able to, they mate with an unneutered female. These animals reproduce and have litters that are now not spayed or neutered, and the cycle keeps going. Some of these animals can even become aggressive. Why? Because they're not spayed or neutered. Male dogs that are not spayed have a more aggressive tendency than a male dog that is spayed. A simple fix? Spaying and neutering. Some animals are lucky enough to be found and brought into shelters. But are they really lucky? Not all of the shelters these animals end up at are no-kill shelters. From the 6 to 8 million homeless animals, the Humane Society states that nearly 2.7 million animals are euthanized in shelters yearly. Yearly! Are you serious? That's absolutely crazy. And on top of that, these animals are perfectly healthy. They just don't have anywhere to go. Due to the amount of the animals on the streets, some shelters cannot keep up with the volume of animals being brought in. Animal shelters also take surrendered animals when their owners cannot care for them anymore. These two factors put together make for very crowded shelters. There is no other option but to euthanize these animals because there is simply no room for them. This chart breaks down the statistics of animal homelessness in the United States. 8 million animals enter the shelters each year. About 90%, or 7 million of those animals, are savable, which means that the animals are adoptable. Of those animals, only about 4 million will be saved. The other 3 million are euthanized. Spaying and neutering your animals also provides great benefit to not only the overpopulation on the streets, but also to their health. According to the AVMA, obesity is decreased in both sexes of animals when spayed and neutered early. Spaying and neutering your animals also makes for calmer animals and keeps them healthier, according to the Woodbridge Animal Hospital. The risk for ovarian or testicular cancer is completely removed from the equation once your animal is spayed or neutered. What do you think? Do you think it's crucial for people to get their animals spayed and neutered? Thank you for joining me, and I hope I was able to make an impact and shed light on a very serious issue in this country.